We've been hearing over the last several years similar questions and concerns from our clients. And so we decided to make a video series that addresses those concerns, put them on the internet so that everyone can see them, and hopefully that helps educate not only our clients and their family, but the population at large. So one of the ones we get over and over is our clients hear from friends, family, coworkers that they really aren't in recovery if they're on Suboxone, and that on some level they've traded one thing for another. And it's a time in the client's life, where they really need to feel supported. So opiate withdrawal, or really withdrawal from any illicit drug, we can break into two sections. The first would be what they call acute withdrawal. Can last between 3 weeks to a month, with the first 7 to 10 days being the most severe. This is the biggest barrier to treatment for most clients because it is just an excruciating experience, and most opiate addicts will do anything to avoid feeling withdrawal. So it is something that we need to address, right off the bat. The second phase of withdrawal is called post-acute withdrawal. Some people call it PAWS, P-A-W-S, post-acute withdrawal syndrome. And this can last anywhere from 12 months to even 18 months. So this is quite a long time to feel, bad. And we're talking about symptoms such as sleeplessness, cramping, diarrhea, inability to regulate temperature. It is a truly torturous thing for our clients to go through. Well, initially, Suboxone, will take all of those symptoms of the acute withdrawal completely off the table for the client. So it's removing that barrier to treatment. And there's, many, many studies that indicate that clients who are on Suboxone are more likely to stay engaged in treatment and remain in treatment where, they can learn the skills and tools that they need to survive, on their own outside of addiction. So addiction and dependence on the surface might sound like the same thing. A really good example that I've heard is of Chap Stick. I'm sure you know someone who carries Chap Stick around with them everywhere that they go. If you use Chap Stick over and over again, eventually what happens is your lips stop creating their own natural moisture. And the person needs to use Chap Stick just to get their lips back to normal. This would be classic dependence. You introduce something into your body adjusts to that thing, and now you need to use Chap Stick, right? But is that person addicted to Chap Stick? No. I mean, the answer to that is no. Now, if Chap Stick was causing them to miss work, or miss school, or have trouble with their relationships, or if it was causing instability, in their lives on certain levels, well, then perhaps, if Chap Stick was causing them to live outside of their values, well, sure. But, I think we all can see that Chap Stick doesn't do those things. So the difference between addiction and dependence, is that one is based upon the physical reaction to the drug and what your body does over time. An opiate person that comes seeking recovery from opiate abuse, they present to us with both problems, both addiction and dependence. So they have the dependency to their body where they need the opiates to feel normal, but they also have all this other instability that I just mentioned with family and functioning inside and out of their lifestyle. So dependence, yes, I mean, they will become dependent on the Suboxone, but our hope is that in time, that they develop the tools to better deal with the addiction side. When clients present to us, they normally think that what they call dope sick or withdrawal is their main problem. But in time, they come to learn that it wasn't their main problem, but it was, a problem. It was the problem that was keeping them from addressing the larger issue of addiction. So what Suboxone is good at doing is removing that barrier, that physical barrier, that allows the addict then to get down to the work of dealing with the addiction side of things. At the end, not that dependence isn't a real problem, but it's a much easier problem to manage than the addiction side. And it becomes too much to ask of the patient to try to deal with both of those conditions at the same time. So what Suboxone does is removes one of those and allows us then to focus on the addiction and the instability in the client's life. So if a person's thinking about, getting on Suboxone, is there pressure out there, from friends and family and internet memes? I mean, there is. There are people out there that will try to, dissuade someone from getting help. But the proof is there. And we see it every day in and out of our clinic, that people on Suboxone are better able to manage the major life event that's in front of them. Without Suboxone, you're being asked to deal with not only the physical aspects of opiate abuse, which again can last up to a year or longer, but you're also being asked to deal with all of the instability at the same time, which includes, finding new friends. I mean, things as big as dealing with mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, trauma-related issues. So we're talking about a very complicated, very complex set of changes that the client needs to make. With Suboxone, you're able to break those problems into two pieces. Suboxone will take the physical aspect out of the picture and allow one to just focus on the instability and the other issues that they're facing. And we can deal with the physical dependence later, at the end, not at the beginning, where we found, it to be too much for people to bear. And I think that you will see that, people on Suboxone are absolutely in recovery. They have not traded one thing for another because their life ultimately improves.